Hi guys, Selina Walker here, naturopath and nutritionist living deep in nature here at Ysbryd y Coed, Spirit of the Trees. And today I want to talk to you about dandelion, specifically dandelion root. Now some of you might know the Latin Taxicum officinale. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I always like to give that disclaimer because I'm not great at these long Latin names. But dandelion is an amazing medicine we have in the garden. Now she's here, and I specifically at this time of year, as we go into autumn and winter time, don't weed her from the garden. Now generally if I weed her, I try and put her aside for medicine anyway, but this time of year, because the weeds aren't growing that quickly and I haven't got as much in the garden, I will leave her do her thing. Because when she grows in the veg garden, her roots are slightly easier to harvest. I still always break them, but they are slightly easier to harvest. So what I tend to do, I tend to harvest the roots, just put them on the side until later, and then I can come and collect them all to make medicine. So as I'm harvesting this, I just want to talk to you about it. Now, if you were ever harvesting dandelion and you get a full root that comes up without snapping, that one snapped a bit there, then it is like pure pleasure. So dandelion, that amazing plant, we are focusing on the root. And one of the reasons I want to focus on the root is at this time of year, as we are almost at first day of winter as the Celtic calendar goes, it's Ysbryd Nos this weekend here in Wales, so that is the time of year where all the earth's energy is going down into the root. You can see it now. As soon as the oak leaves are starting to change, I take that as a sign that the medicine and the energy of the plants are going into the root. And that is why I always say in the summer we need to eat above the ground and in the winter below the ground, because that is where Mother Earth's energy is, and that is where the energy and the medicine of the plants go. So dandelion, she's pushing all her energy down into the roots to keep it. It's a bit like her larder, her pantry, the root, and that is where her medicine is. So I generally only collect dandelion root for medicine after around the end of October. Obviously not when it's a frost, because she's hard to dig up. And whenever I think of dandelion root, I'm always thinking liver, kidneys and digestion. So I'm just going to carry on harvesting a bit more here. What I tend to do is as I go along, I just put it on the edge and I'll come along my bucket later and fill it. So why is she good for those? Just pull my wire along to make sure the microphone doesn't come out, because it's a bit windy here today. And also we had loads and loads and loads of rain last night, and you might even be able to hear the river in the background. I'm looking forward to going down and seeing it later. Not river, sorry, stream. Hello, it could be more like a river today. Anyway, back to dandelion. Dandelion is great for many different things. Like some of you might have even seen her in the shops being sold as a coffee alternative, because you can dig up the root, and I think that's just snapped, but let's see what we've got. You can dig up the root and obviously wash it, slice it, put it in the oven, roast the root, and then you can use it as a coffee alternative. But I'm not talking about that today. I want to talk about dandelion roots medicine. I think this one is coming up whole. Satisfaction. Oh no, a bit came off. So dandelion root medicine, as I said, is liver, kidneys and digestion. Now, one of the reasons that I tend to focus on like kidneys and also liver is because she is a diuretic. What does that mean? Well, she flushes you out. She gets you peeing basically. She flushes you out, gets that route of elimination open. Urination, now pee, is one of our natural routes of elimination. It's how we get toxins out, certain toxins anyway. So because she's a diuretic, she's going to help with things such as liver disease, kidney disease. And if you're someone that holds on to water, you know, you get swelling, you have water retention, she can even help with that. Now the other thing is she's a digestive aid. So she can be a great one to have before meals to get the digestive system flowing. But also because she's a digestive aid, the two things she tends to really help out with is stomach acid levels. Now there's a massive misconception about stomach acid. Lots of people think that stomach acid diminishes when we get older. And sorry, not diminishes, actually grows when we get older. Lots of people think the stomach acid grows when we get older. And by that I mean increases. But why would that be the only like liquid or bodily function that actually increases when we get older? Actually, stomach acid decreases. And that's what we need to digest our food. And we need it to help produce certain elements of our absorption, such as intrinsic factor for B12 and lots of other things. They all play a role they all play a part of the stomach acid picture. And dandelion, she can help with stomach acid production. And also, as part of the digestive process, she can also help with the production of bile. And when you're thinking bile is what helps emulsify the fats so we can absorb fats in our body. So the liver produces the bile, and the bile goes stored in the gallbladder, and the gallbladder then shoots it out around the duodenum, the small intestine area, to help emulsify the fats. And if you're not absorbing and emulsifying the fats well, you will know, because your feces will float on the water and they'll be very pale in colour. And that could be because you're not absorbing your fats or you're eating damaged fats. So dandelion, she can be a bit of a saving grace there. Now, the other thing about dandelion is she has soluble inulin in her. So a bit like one of my favourite plants, yacon, she has inulin in her, which some of you might have heard of, FOS. And let's attempt to say that long word, frugoligosaccharides, something like that. FOS is what I tend to say because that's what it's short for. But that's the type of soluble inulin that's in her. And that is a form of sugars that slow releasing, so it doesn't spike the blood sugar, and also it's really good to feed the good gut bacteria. So if you've got an imbalance of gut bacteria, you'll know, because when you eat foods with FOS in, it can be very difficult for you to digest, and some people have to go on FOS free diets as a result of that. But let's not complicate things here, and let's just understand that dandelion has the soluble inulin in her, and why that is good is because it's food for the good gut bacteria, prebiotics. Now, the other thing that she can be great for is she can be fantastic as just a general tonic. I always think dandelion comes up in the spring, and we all need a good spring clean and a spring tonic, but she's great for that. And even the root can be good to give the liver a good cleanse and just a general tonic. So what I'll be doing here is I'll be harvesting the root, giving the roots a good wash, and then making her into a tincture. So hopefully that's inspired you to look at the dandelion come up in your garden in a different way, to think of the medicine she is offering you, and remember, think liver, kidneys and digestion, and get making medicine, because this knowledge is deep in us from our ancestors. We are all herbalists. So get experimenting in your garden, get experimenting with your own natural medicine cabinet. If you've enjoyed this video, then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps get this wisdom and information out there to others. And you can also head on over to my website, selinawalker.earth, and sign up to my free newsletter, where you'll get hints, tips and news from me about creating a healthy body, a healthy mind and a healthy planet. I'll see you soon.